All right, so let's go live. We're going to go live on the YouTubes. And we're going to get started with our simultaneous squeeze, as we always do. You know how I love to do that. All right, so real quick, let me just do a little introduction for people tuning in. So welcome. Today we're going to be talking about holistic approaches to vagus nerve stimulation. I get this question a lot. How do I holistically stimulate my vagus nerve? And today we're going to talk about that specifically. But before we do that, we're going to do something called the simultaneous squeeze. It's a really quick little practice we do to activate our vagus nerves before we go into learning some really helpful techniques that could save your life. So just follow my instructions. We're going to take a deep breath in. Take a sip of air at the top. You're going to hold it and squeeze it in. Go. And then slowly exhale. Very good. So that could, if you're lucky, really give you access to a whole different lever of consciousness, so to speak. So I always like that practice. It's pretty fun. Okay, cool. So holistic approaches to vagus nerve stimulation. I get this question every couple of days, probably, in my Facebook group, which hit 25,000 members. So we're excited about that. But basically, to kick things off, as we all know, the vagus nerve is one of the most important nerves in our entire body. It plays a crucial role in regulating your heart rate, your digestion, even influencing your mood, regulating your blood pressure, regulating your pancreas, regulating sexual function, your ability to sweat, your ability to detox, all regulated by this thing called the vagus nerve. Also regulates inflammation. There's many things that your vagus nerve does that really go haywire when your vagus nerve gets damaged or stops working. And so some things that can activate the vagus nerve or work on the vagus nerve can be done safely, easily at home. And these can oftentimes really make you feel good and improve a lot of different health conditions. So that's why we're here basically every day. So stimulating the vagus nerve can have numerous health benefits, from reducing inflammation to improving your mental health. In this blog post, in this video, we're going to explore some holistic approaches to vagus nerve stimulation that are easy to perform regularly and can be incorporated into your daily routine. So super, super important. The place that we're going to start with first are breathing techniques for vagus nerve stimulation. So when we say breathing techniques, what do we mean? Breathing techniques are things that, like what we did before, the simultaneous squeeze, where we all breathe in, and you hold it, and you slowly exhale. The longer the exhale, the better the effect. So breathing exercises are some of the simplest ways to stimulate the vagus nerve in your life. If you breathe deeply and slowly, it has been shown to activate the vagus nerve almost instantly, which can lead to a reduction in your heart rate and a reduction in your blood pressure. So if you're someone who's taking a lot of blood pressure medication and you feel like you can't get off of them ever, because I know they can have side effects, maybe you should ask your doctor about vagus nerve stimulation to see if vagus nerve stimulation might be right for you. Something to consider. Maybe you don't have to take your blood pressure medication. If you learned how to breathe properly, you might not have to take all the pills you're taking. That'd be something. But you probably won't hear about it from your doctor because, financially speaking, he does make some money off of your pill habit. So, but I won't go into that any further. That's like a conspiracy theory, right? So here's a simple breathing exercise that you can try. And it's a 5-part practice. Super simple, super easy to remember. So number 1, you can sit comfortably and close your eyes. Make sure you're sitting down, not standing up when you do any of these, because it can cause you to get dizzy and potentially fall asleep. So you got to be sitting or laying down. Number 2, take a deep breath in through your nose and fill your lungs completely. Number 3, hold your breath for a moment. So just hold your breath for a moment, whatever that means for you. Could be 3 seconds, could be 5 seconds, could be 15 seconds. It all depends on what gets you the effect. It's the effect that we're looking for. And then number 4, once you've held your breath for a moment, then number 4, you're going to exhale slowly through your mouth, emptying your lungs completely. And it's going to be slow exhale. Like you're breathing through like some kind of a straw, or you're breathing through something really small that regulates your breath very carefully. Maybe this is like a necklace that you wear, like a pendant. You know, there's a pendant that's coming on the market very soon. It's called the Namuri, and it's about the size of a simple poker chip, about this big. And it's actually got a hole cut into it. It's got a slit in it. So what you do is you actually take it from your necklace, you flip it up, and you go, and it regulates your breath just right. So you breathe out at the exact slow rate that the vagus nerve wants. It's a very specially designed tool. You can get them in silver. You can get them in gold. They look beautiful. And they are the world's first 3D printed, completely 3D printed, wearable vagus nerve stimulation device. So it's the coolest wearable on the market. So I'll share the name of that later. But so anyway, this specific exercise can be repeated a few times in a row. You can breathe slowly with an exhale, 2, 3, 4 times while taking a seat. If you're feeling a little bit of pain, a little bit of stress, a little bit of anxiety, you just want to center and focus yourself. You just take that big deep breath in through the nose, hold it for a moment, and then slowly exhale. Through the mouth, just like that. And that can really calm you down, regulate your body, okay? So that one is a fantastic technique. Next one. So another holistic approach for vagus nerve activation would be humming. So we all know that the vagus nerve connects to your throat. So it's not that humming vibrates your vagus nerve. It's really that your vagus nerve vibrates your throat. Your vagus nerve is where the signals go from your brain down to your voice box. I just cracked my throat because I just jammed my fingers into my neck. So you could hear that. But what you're doing when you're interrupting your voice is you're actually interrupting your vagus nerve. Most people don't know that mechanism is there. It's true. If you were to, for some reason, surgically cut your vagus nerve, if you only just cut the vagus nerve, guess what would happen in your throat? You would lose the ability to speak. So therefore, we know that the vagus nerve is your voice. It's not the other way around. Vibrating your throat does not stimulate your vagus nerve. Speaking is your vagus nerve activating. So how many of you knew that, by the way? Am I telling you something new? Is this new? Like, yes, this is new, or no, I knew that already. Let me know in the chat, wherever you're watching, if it's on Twitter, if it's on YouTube, or it's on Facebook. I love to know, because I've shared that a few times, and I keep on hearing, wow, I didn't know that your voice is a reflection of your vagus nerve. Okay, cool. So AK, this is new for you. Okay, good. So see, you learned something new on these videos. Sarah, news to you too. Okay, great. Well, I'm glad I shared it, because sometimes I wonder, am I wasting my breath with some of these comments? See, Charlene knew, because Charlene's a client of mine for a while now, so she knows these things, right? So if you're a client of mine, you guys know. You know these things, right? If you're with me long enough, you'll learn some pretty interesting things. So humming for vagus nerve activation. Humming is another simple yet very effective technique for stimulating the vagus nerve. The vibration caused by humming can, in a way, create a feedback loop to calm the nerves that go further than your throat. So it can be calming to vibrate. It can be calming to put your head up to someone else's ear or up to their head and then vibrate. And if you hold your throat like this and you talk, it can actually change how your voice sounds, which is really weird. You can kind of feel the vibrations of your voice. So I always find that to be kind of weird. So this just talking for a while over the phone to someone you love can actually be calming, can be soothing, which is pretty cool. So, for instance, my mom, she loves talking on the phone all the time. So and then she looks really young for her age. She's incredible weight. I mean, it's remarkable how young looking my mom still is at her age and how active she is at her age. And I always was annoyed when I was a kid because she would be on the phone with her friends for, gosh, it felt like 2-3 hours just talking. And I'm like, what in the world could you be talking about for that long? My God. But now I realize my mom was really trying to stimulate her vagus nerve. And I do believe that the more healthy your vagus nerve is, the slower your body ages. It's true. You ever see someone who doesn't talk to anybody for a while, right? They have like social anxiety. They don't like talking. I think they age a lot faster than the rest of us. I have that suspicion. So if you get the opportunity to either talk or hum, go for it. Take the opportunity. So here's the recommendation. Try humming to your favorite tune or simply make a sound with your lips closed. You can do this while driving, cooking, or anytime you need a quick bit of stress relief. So just give it a shot and you'll be A-okay, all right? Humming's really easy, okay? All right, next one. So another way that you can activate your vagus nerve pretty easily is through gargling. So gargling is another one of those ways where we can activate some of these motors in the back of your throat that are controlled by the vagus nerve. I would ask the same question, but I'm pretty sure I know what the answers would be. What if I asked you, did you know that gargling actually makes vagus nerve controlled muscles vibrate in the back of your throat? Rather than what I think most people on TikTok and on Instagram will probably tell you is that it's the vibrations of the gargling that soothe your vagus nerve and calm you down. And I mean, at the end of the day, if you get these things wrong or right, but you're gargling, that's what counts. But you only have enough room in your brain for enough BS, don't you? Right? If you're like, maybe the people I've been listening to have been feeding me a load of BS that they don't anatomically know is actually what's happening, right? Because humming does not stimulate your vagus nerve by the vibrations. It's literally you humming is sending signals through your vagus nerve to vibrate your throat. It's not the other way around. It's not the vibration. So when people go, oh, well, if humming vibrations are good for my vagus nerve, then I should just put a vibration thing against my throat, and that could be good for my vagus nerve too. Well, it doesn't work that way because that's not how you stimulate your vagus nerve, okay? So anyway, so gargling for vagus nerve stimulation. Gargling is a less known but equally effective method for vagus nerve stimulation. The act of gargling requires a lot of muscles in the back of the throat, which are directly connected to the vagus nerve. That's why gargling happens. So people who can't swallow or people who aspirate foods and liquids a lot can't gargle that well because their muscles of their vagus nerve in the back of their throat aren't regulated properly. They just can't gargle effectively, which is really crazy. So you can try to incorporate gargling into your routine. Try doing it every morning and evening when you brush your teeth. Not only will this stimulate the vagus nerve, but it can also help to keep your throat healthy. Definitely gargling is a good idea. Okay, cool. So those are some really good techniques. Now, the key thing here is Do that which keeps you consistent. That is the key trick here. You have to do things that keep you consistent at the technique. So whatever that is, look, if you can't keep consistent with gargling, humming, or breathing, then that's when you need to go get something that is like a token or just like a talisman or a pendant or a device, something that can make it so that you are consistent. These are the important things, because just knowing that breathing is good for your vagus nerve doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be consistent with it, right? Technique does not trump the reminder of doing the exercise. So that's why wearing a necklace, like a pendant that you can breathe through, is a great reminder. The weight on your chest is a great reminder to, oh, I should just take a moment to breathe. Or wearing a watch that tracks your HRV that reminds you, hey, your vagus nerve is hurting, so you should try something. Or wearing a leaf on your chest that knows exactly when your vagus nerve, a leaf, L-I-E-F, not a leaf like from a tree. A leaf is a device that you wear on your chest that measures your vagus nerve constantly and will warn you when it detects your vagus nerve not functioning properly, and it will tell you to breathe. So still, what is doing the therapy is still the breathing. It's just having devices around you to remind you to do the thing that is good for you, right? So, because oftentimes when we're stressed, we actually lose the ability to be self-aware of what's going on in our body. So just knowing cognitively that humming or gargling or breathing is good for us, if we're in this out-of-mind state, how are you going to know that it's time to do the good things for you, right? So that's why having physical things around you that are like, hey, remind myself to breathe, remind myself to activate my vagus nerve when I'm stressed, those things make a big difference. And oftentimes those are things that are very affordable that you can have around you. I mean, gosh, put a Post-it note on your screen where you work that says, remember to breathe. Just a little Post-it note that costs you a few cents, right? Remember to breathe. That could probably work for a lot of people to remind themselves to breathe. So again, don't depend on your memory in stressful situations to do things that are good for your vagus nerve. Keep things in your environment, physical things in your environment that remind you about the importance of calmness, breathing, self-regulation, etc. And that can oftentimes work wonders. It doesn't have to be the most perfect thing in the world. It just has to be something that gets you to do it when it counts, okay? So in full conclusion of today's video, we now know that vagus nerve techniques should be easy and something that you can perform regularly and easily. This is important. So by incorporating these simple practices into your daily routine, you can reap the numerous health benefits associated with vagus nerve stimulation. Remember, consistency is key. The more regularly you practice these techniques, the more likely you are to see results. So why not give them a try? Your body and your mind will thank you for it. And just a real quick review for those who are just tuning in, the 3 techniques that I gave today are breathing, just simple breathing into the nose, holding the breath, and exhaling slowly through the mouth. And it makes me yawn, which means that's definitely activating my vagus nerve. And then humming to your favorite tune. That's humming. And then gargling, like that. Gargling with water. You take water, you put it in your mouth like this. That's gargling, okay? For anybody who might not know what gargling is, just in case. Okay, so that'll be it, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Appreciate you. I'll let you get back to your Sunday, whatever you're up to today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you again on Monday, okay? I'll see you tomorrow bright, shining, and early. Oh, we have Colleen over on YouTube. She also didn't know that when you speak or you hum, that it's not the vibrations that stimulate your vagus nerve. It's literally you speaking through your vagus nerve that vibrates your throat. Crazy how many people don't know that. But why would they? They don't watch me. So awesome. Well, thanks, Charlene. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Yay. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and take care. You're welcome, Colleen. Good to see you. Good. Awesome. All right. Take care and have a great rest of your day. Go spend time with your somebody or call someone. Have a nice conversation with someone, okay? If you can. All right. Take care. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. We'll go